Welcome back, everybody. We're here to do a quick review of Hitman's Voice Bodyguard, which is the brand new action comedy starring Ryan Reynolds, Samuel Jackson, Selma Hayek, and Antonio Banderas. Um, it is the follow up to the Hitman's Bodyguard, the previous starring uh, the previous movie starring Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson, which I thought did pretty well in the box office. I should have looked that up. But this one follows Ryan Reynolds' bodyguard trying to take a vacation because he is having issues following the last movie, and he gets caught up after Selma Hayek's character picks him up because Samuel L. Jackson's in trouble, and well, hilarity ensues.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
You've heard of this. You've seen this, right? You know what that is.
It is unavoidable. It is your destiny.
Is this not why you are here?
Do or do not. There is no try.
Knock that shit off.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
That's what they're calling it, hilarity.
Depending on
Yeah.
your definition of hilarity.
So we're gonna go quick. My first question, each of you is just gonna give me a little what you thought and your grade. We're gonna go right off the bat. What did you think of this sequel to the other movie? Do you think Ryan Reynolds' comedy held up for the sequel? Do you think the whole Selma Hayek, Antonio Banderas thing worked? Did you think the whole thing worked or fell on its face? Who will go first?
My opinion, Chris, if the 2007 Hitman movie starring Timothy Olyphant and The Bodyguard with Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston merge some Frankenstein movie, that movie would have been better than the trash that I watched.
But
My
you
grade
didn't
is
see, wait a
for
minute. You
doo-doo.
didn't see the first one, did you?
No.
So you don't really have that reference to go off these characters.
I don't
This
think
is
you
even
need a
better.
reference. I don't think you need the reference for these characters.
Well, the first one is way better. And it did well. That's why they made this thing, right?
The fact that the first one is way better doesn't mean this is not a D for doo-doo.
No, I'm not arguing that point. I'm just saying, like, yeah, there's a reason they made this, like, and it's a continuation of
Understood.
those characters. They just
Yeah,
didn't.
they made
execute.
it for money. I get it.
Yeah.
Hollywood, I get it. What's his name? Samuel Jackson is a big paycheck dude. Salma Hayek, Ryan Reynolds, Morgan Freeman. Everyone that I see, what's his name? Antonio Banderas. But those guys command big Hollywood paychecks. So you're gonna put that movie
Yeah.
together, and that abomination I saw. So my grade is D.
Wow, going right off. D for doo-doo right off the bat. Mike, you have some opinions about this. Tell us. What did you think?
Yeah, so I did see the first one. I enjoyed the first one, and then I was disappointed by this one. It wasn't as good as the first one. So my grade is going to be like a C minus, C minus. If I'm grading the last one, which came out before we started doing our pod, that one is easily like a B plus to compare. So this one, the plot was just all over the place for me. What I did like was Morgan Freeman's character. I didn't really care for Banderas. Ryan Reynolds is funny as always. Just the jokes written for him didn't really land, I guess. But he does what he can with the material. Sam Jackson, him and Sam Jackson, in the first one they had great chemistry. This one was okay. Salma, I think, was just over the top. But I don't really care. I can just put her on mute and just watch the movie. I'm okay with that. So.
So typical of a male. Just put a woman on mute.
In an ideal world. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
No, so my grade is C minus.
All right. Roxy, what did you think?
I feel like when I heard James's grade, and it shocked me because I also gave it the same grade, and James and I literally never have the same grades, but I give it a D
Never.
for doo-doo.
The movie
Never.
has to be so bad that we both agree.
Man,
Right.
With Nexus, we formed a Nexus being right there.
I don't
I
think
just
I have enough
wasn't
poop
into
emojis
it.
for this pod.
I
What
wasn't
was
into it. I didn't.
Mhm.
I don't think Ryan Reynolds is funny, at least in this movie. I don't know. None of his jokes like did it for me. There was no chemistry at all. I actually think Salma Hayek was the best part of this movie.
Whoa, we were just aligned until now. She was definitely the
No,
worst part of the movie.
I thought she was the best part of this movie by
All right,
far.
all
I
right.
was
Brooks,
like,
Well,
did you see the first
back
one?
to the sacred timeline.
Did you?
I saw the first half of the first one. That's all I
Okay.
got through because I was trying to watch this one as well, so I only got through the first half. But
All right.
yeah, I want the hour and a half of my life back after watching this movie.
All right. Wow. There's some harsh critics today. I'm not going to give it a much better grade here. I think it felt repetitive, which I guess it's supposed to because it's just a follow up and you're supposed to have the same characters with the same. But it just felt just not new, not interesting. I didn't think Banderas really landed anything fun to add. Like the fun part of being a bad guy in a comedy is you're either the really straight guy who just everything lands on, or you are just a big bombastic fun. And I didn't think
Yeah.
Banderas was really landing any of that.
Any of them? Yeah, yeah. Good point.
I thought I kind of like the Ryan Reynolds shtick with the he's trying not to kill people, he's on sabbatical. That was kind of funny. I agree that him and Selma Hayek had actually a better thing going than him and Samuel Jackson. Like that just it wasn't clicking this time. I don't know. I don't know if it was the jokes that weren't doing or it was just me. Could have been either one. I liked the first one. I thought it was inventive and funny, and this felt like they almost got some inventiveness. Like the whole Ryan Reynolds not shooting people again is like the only thing I can say that was kind of inventive and funny. Everything else was just him going, "Ew, you guys are kissing, ew," right? Like that was 90% of the jokes of the first half of the movie. So, I guess I'm gonna give it a C minus.
Yeah.
I
I'm with you
can't
there.
quite go. I can't
Yeah,
quite
you're
go.
so generous
I
with the grading.
I can't quite go D. Like I watched the whole thing. I didn't hate the whole thing. It's not like it offended me in some way. I did accidentally put it on for my whole family, which is not a family movie.
Oh
So
yeah, it's not.
it's
Yeah,
not.
especially the whole conversation about her vagina. And I was like, oh my God, glad Eric wasn't in here watching it with me.
Yeah, exactly. But that like outside of like not showing it to young teenagers, which is fine, I guess, but I laughed at parts. Um, but you're right. There's a lot of these guys will take a paycheck, and I felt like there was a lot of paycheck having in some of this, almost like a Expendables. We almost got to Expendables level on this movie. You know what I mean?
I was
Expendables
trying to
three,
look
bro.
up.
I think you kind of surpassed the Expendables level, but yeah.
I was trying to see how much each person made for the movie, and I couldn't find it. But yeah, I agree. I felt like this was a paycheck movie for sure.
All right. So the only
Just look
question
at
I
the
have,
cast. Yeah.
Yeah.
my only question as we finish this off for each of you is: do you actually have a comedy sequel that you really enjoy?
A comedy what equal?
Comedy sequel, the second comedy in a series. Now,
Yeah, sure. Hangover 2 was good.
Hangover 2, Airplane 2,
Mm-hmm. Naked Gun 2.
Naked
Naked
Gun
Gun
two
two
and
and
a
a
half
half,
was
two and a half.
good,
Yeah.
and
There's a lot
probably
of them.
I
I'm
mean, you would
surprised
call
because
Beverly Hills Cop 2 a comedy movie or a
yeah,
dramedy?
no,
But
get
2 was
that.
good. 3 was terrible for Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, agreed.
I think the problem comes when you have comedies that appear very long distance away from their original, and everything in the world has changed completely, and you can't quite update it. So I don't
Ooh,
know.
Austin Powers too.
Austin Powers too. I don't know, Brooksy,
Yeah.
can you think of any?
Yes, I'm gonna say Friday and then next Friday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, next Friday was okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure 2.
Hmm.
Zoolander 2 was funny.
Yeah.
I
Zoolander 2?
hated Zoolander.
No, that's not funny. I do not. That was
Zoolander is
I
amazing.
thought it was
So much.
hilarious. I love
Yeah, I love
Zoolander.
It
Zoolander,
makes my
man.
skin crawl. I like. Ugh. Ugh.
no,
That's the
no,
point.
thank you. Yeah, that's not.
I love
That's
that
not,
movie.
not for me. All right, so
Yeah, that's it.
that
That's all I got.
that's our very short discussion, and that's all it deserved for the Hitman's Wife Bodyguard 2.
That's it. That's it.
So we've got some new movies coming up for both of the for a lot of those actors. So hope they improvements on this. All right, we'll be right back. We're gonna actually have a full discussion of Black Widow.